Hi everybody, good morning. I'm continue doing some rooms from Pattern do before web application pen testing, then about the various vulnerabilities that can exist in web application and how to perform security assessment on of web application. I'm doing which one I'm doing the SSRF. Uh, Discover the inner working of SSRF and explore multiple exploitation technique. Now, in this room, of course, that's the introduction. Also, give us the lab. In this one, I think it's a free room. There's no sign of. This is a free room, so you guys you can read and you can practice. The landscape of web attack constantly evolves with threat actor devising sophisticated methods to compromise system in it. As each day passes, the expansion of web based one the need for robust cybersecurity. Uh, in this room, we will discuss similar attack known as Server Side Request Forgery. So basically, we're talking about SSRF is a web application security vulnerability that allows the attacker to force the server to make unauthorized requests to any local or external source on behalf of the web server, and also allow attacker to interact with internal system. There's many CTFs that do these tricks. So learning objective, of course, understand the working of SSRF, practically testing various type of SSRF, few important tools for exploitation, key mitigation, defense measure. Some prerequisite, yeah, some, but how website web protocol was up to 10, I don't think so, but it's good to know things. So the idea now, of course, they give us here is that we need to add this to our host hrms.thm. The machine IP is that one, so let's configure that our the host vim it where are you, etc hosts early morning. So you paste htms.tryhackme htms, or what the name again, hrms. Okay, so if I go now to the website hrms.tryhme hrms.tryhm. H what's going on? Let me copy some. I think I'm. What's going on with me now? What I'm doing? I think I'm typing it HRMS. Pasting out HRMS. Oh, that's the problem. Okay, we got that. So I usually, as always, I try to do the inspect the network to see if anything interesting in the network side. Of course, when you come here, you can see it's calling this link. You can see it here. That's the first thing. Nothing special. All GS, tail GS. Okay, so we can argue we're not needing this folder, but just leave it down. The first thing you notice when you do this is the URL in the top. You can see the way that we saw it now, so it's very interesting. Whenever you see something like that, usually it's a flag you that either SSRF or we can do LFI, wherever, because it's a URL equal localhost. I mean, if you are somehow in, you can just sometimes this festival before we jump. So we did this one. That's task one. Task 2, of course, when it is talking about anatomy of SSRF attack, when developing network software, it's common to make requests to external server. Developer often use this request to fetch remote resources like software update or import data from other applications. While these requests are typically safe, improper implementation can lead to a vulnerable known as SSRF. SSRF vulnerability can rise when user provide data is used to construct a request, such as forming a URL. To execute an SSRF attack, an attacker can manipulate parameter value within the vulnerable software, effectively creating or controlling requests from a software and directing, like this example, for example, direct request is blocked by the firewall in case to a web server make a request on behalf of the user. So this it means you're tricking the server to make a request on behalf of you. OWASP ranking SSRF is a formidable security threat, earning a spot in OWASP top 10 list, making it imperative to stand and defend against as it jeopardizes data integrity and application security. Max incident rate 2.72%, average incident, average weight exploit 8.2, average weight impact, max coverage, total occurrence, total CVE is 385. That's usually server side request forgery. And then we have max incident rate. It suggests how often this vulnerability has been encountered relative to other vulnerabilities. Average incident rate, weight, coverage, occurrence, and CVE. Note SSRF vulnerability ranks 7th in the West top 10 security. Let's see which one is the top. This is what 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Who is one? This is 2023. Where is 2024? It's not yet. Top 10 23. API 10 to a broken object level authorization. Broken authentication. Yeah, so if you do back bounty, you can start concentrating from the top or go from the bottom where people ignore them. Okay, I don't need these ones. Risk of ASF data exposure, as we said, reconnaissance, denial of service, with this task later on here. A classic example, crashing the server, for example. What is the average weight impact of SSR vulnerability as per WASP top 10? The average what? Weight impact, average weight impact, so it's this one, 672. Notice that now type of SSRF, task 3 types of SSRF basic. Basic SSRF is a web attack technique where an attacker tricks the server into making requests on their behalf. That's the whole story here. Often targeting internal system or third-party services against local servers. So for example, here we have this example. Now if we go, let's practice whatever it's saying here. So if remember we saw this URL equal localhost, so one thing you can say, how about index, wherever index dot, I'm not sure, I don't think it's a PHP application here. Oh, it gave me login, it's a PHP. Huh. Is there an LFI? Let's test it. etc pass w. I don't think it's an LFI. He's asking for a password. Dodgy character. Why asking for password when you change the URL? Let's see. Hmm. And if I put a strange name, it reflects directly to so if you put URL equal, it takes you to the login, and here it said localhost copyright, so it's doing the copyright things. Let's put these things down. Let's see what the source page give us, because sometimes looking the source code give you information. Where is the, because it say copyright, what exactly that copyright is? Copyright should be in the bottom in general. What's going on? Copyright 2023. Okay, let's try something. Let's say if I want to put what's going on here? Like the example of TryHackMe, something in I don't know, this network. Uh, he did a config. Oh, it's like a guessing here. Okay, let's put hello. What happened if I put hello? It add a PHP to it. See, if you put hello, it add PHP to it, automatic, and it said not found. So if I go not search view page source, you can see it's no, not if I go a view page source there. So if we go back in the bottom of that copyright place, it said hello.php is not found, and this one, when it was the copyright part, it put copyright, so it's putting stuff there. So okay, so we got interesting. He put the .php automatic, so he added PHP there. So what we can do, how about not guessing? So we can just come here and just I go to our friend Faf. Let's say you are. I said if you are in real city, if you don't know, you don't just guessing. You can guess because you can think where this user share or list the basta directory to medium list. Let's stop there and let's remove this minus of word because that one should be not found or something. 92. So he's already doing the .php on it. So we already have some files here. Let's test them. So we have the index, so we can put index here. Let's see what it give me if I put index. You see it put the whole file here. Interesting. Let's close our network. So now if I zoom in, now we have all the, oh, that's the copyright stuff. So it means you just take location of a copyright. You have directory views, because it takes stuff like like I say here. Then which one? Okay, this is the login page we notice, and then this is the code, and we able, for example, here because there is no sanitation, so wherever you put, it just go through. So that's the page of the PHP. When you put any word, it says PHP, so it's added extension, so we can go. So let's see what's special in this code. You can see there's a profile.php, url.php, employee.php, photo font. what exactly we found with did we found the employee? We cut it. So we found profile info. What that info is? Let's see. This is the index, the main one. Let's get the info. What exactly that info? Info. It take us to the login page. Is protected. The profile is assumed before it is training footer details logout. We have a config, which is that's what we. If you are a pen tester, that's one thing you're interested on. Yeah, it's not a protected. I'm just confused. Uh, what we said one is protected. The info it shouldn't be protected because it's reflected. So oh, echo. That's what we'll get later on php.info. Okay, so if I go to what else? Uh, the profile should be your profile, but it is interesting. Uh, this training, we didn't find employee. Where is that? Because we cancel it. But our most sensitive file here, you can say, is the config file. This, which is give us very interesting this stuff. So now we already find something. So let's get. So we've been able to get the username. And let's use this thing. We look, for example, yeah, let's try to log in. Why not? That's the first thing you do. You say what I can do with this information. The same thing you notice is very interesting. The link it go to 192.168.2.10, so it's a local IP. Of course, we can't access it. That's a simple logic. It's not like you can. Why is not copying? What's wrong with you? Of course, it's local IP. We can't access to it. But there is admin.php, but that doesn't give us anything. So even if you put here, you think you will go to it. It's just that's not an admin.php portal. The portal is somehow in local network. So we don't have the. We know the IP. Let's go. Let's go log here. No, that's the IP. Let's log from that side. I need to keep this one to look at it. This is not an admin. You just log in as an what we got here. Let's take that one to answer the question. Admin.php, and then it tells us what flag value after 64 you log into HRMware panel. Oh, this one. The flag. Okay, I hope this one. Okay, now we got that information. So what we got, we can able to get some stuff in FAF that we can access. Usually, that's the next problem we have is this how to access this. You maybe think, well, but why we just didn't do this? Let's try. So if I have that, we can just. What if I call this from that URL? It said localhost. It should be localhost in theory. How about if I say admin here, because it will call admin.php. Okay, but are we in admin? Because this one is like okay, because when we log, we'll press content. Let's come back to this when we do the tax type of SSRF basic continue. In this task, we will continue learning basic SSRF technique and we'll dive into second scenario. The second scenario number 2, assessing an internal server. In complex web application, it's common for front-end web application to interact with back-end internal server. These servers are generally hosted a non-routable IP address like local IPs 192.168.10 and things like that. For instance, if an internal server provides database management or administrative controls, the attacker could craft a URL that initiate an unintended action on this internal system. So basically, you can change your URL to local. It's better to understand it when we practice now. How it works, in this case, we try to access an accessible internal source through direct request. Now that we have acquired the credential login panel, we log in the dashboard. So basically, all this story, of course, you can't access local IP, that's obvious, it's not part. So we try this trick here, doesn't it push you back? So we are not in, and then we have this, if you do salary, it become empty for some reason. If you do that, it doesn't do anything. So we can go back to that detail page. So now when you are here, of course, one thing as always, you can do the inspect if you are don't know what's going on in this scenario. So the network, what it show what is doing is doing nothing special. Is the CSS, we have detail.php file. uh, Remember now, did we pick up detail.php here? Yeah, there is. We could before find it. I mean, I like to keep this one. Let me see if we need the login out or something. How about if I try details? We need to log out to see the detail page. Let's log out first. Let's see what detail page. Oh, that's the detail. If you want? So it's called constant.php. So we have a constant. You, and you can see it's using that. That's why we see empty pages. Huh. And footer and all of that. But you can do this the same thing. So even if you don't see, we saw it here. You can go back here. Let's log in again to login. Where is the login? That's why I didn't want to close it. So you can see it from the so if I continue, so now we know what exactly, because you can see it now what's happening. That's why the page get empty when we log in here. But also you can do inspect directly from there, or as we said before, that's why same either you do the source code, or make sure you open your network tab, because network tab will tell you exactly what's going on here. Because if I do that, I can see what's going on in this. This is all detail PHP. So if I say salary, for example, where is it? Why don't pick it up? Huh. It doesn't pick up. Sorry guys, I'm trying to experiment sometimes. Where is that persist log? No, the drop down in the network is not calling or something. Okay, so this network things for us is problematic. Let's open inspect. We are inside the inspect. So if I go here now, you can see where the problem is, because it is a local IP, we can't access to it. But we know the admin.php. So one thing we can do is we can just edit as HTML, and let's say there was a 2 weeks ago, and no, not that one. uh, we can just change the admin here. What the hell is not working for me? What TryHackMe is doing here? We can change both if you want, but it doesn't make sense. I think it's only work from the start when it show this whatever information. Now if I edit now, let's see, let's edit the salary is the bottom. So if I is it seems it's not refreshing that you need to start from this page. Let's see if I switch now to salary. Now it does work. Now it's call. Very strange for a moment. Is accessing non-routable address possible if a server is available on the SSRF? Yes, you can access local resources. But why the employee is not giving me anything? So if I go back now to, because this one are like empty, the one that give information is the detail. Let's read that detail things. If server require me to post, get selected category from the form, select post category, file get content, select category, echo content, else content file get content, employee dot php echo content. Okay, so the employee the salary, iframe class full width. There's a comment there. Let's see what's going on here. Let's go back to this detail. iframe full 100 pixel. Why not allow me to TryHackMe? What's going on here? iframe. Yeah, let's copy this. Control C and just edit somewhere here. Oh, this is the employee stuff, but the salary, why I'm not getting the salary? Okay. Uh, there's no there's no salary page. It's empty or something. Okay, guys, that's one way to play around it. So we got this one. Let's continue. Oh no, the blind one, blind SSRF, refer task 5 refer to scenario where the attacker can send requests to a target server, but they do not receive direct response or feedback about the outcome of the request. In other words, the attacker is blind to the server response. Basically, here is it mean before when we do SSRF we can see the result like this, but there's other SSRF it's blind, and there is, for example, the blind SSRF with out of band SSRF is a technique where the attacker leverages separate out-of-band communication channel instead of directly receiving response from the target server to receive information or control the exploited server. The approach is practical when server responses are not directly accessible to the attacker. For instance, the attacker might manipulate the vulnerable server to make, for example, DNS requests or connect to the attacker server. Because you receive that information, you know that SSRF is working. For example, how it works. Once again, log on to the dashboard and click in profile. So let's go now to our did we log? Let's log in again. So if you click in the profile, always you can see here it say localhost get profile.php. So here one is trying to get something, is getting something. So remember we got before this file. Let's see if I say index.php. It doesn't show because there's no results. You see, in this one we can't know what's going on. What happening here is once you load profile.php, it sends data to external page names getinfo.php. Of course, we could see the code, this one from before. We can play the same trick we did here because if you log out, you can get it. You can get no, this already logged me out. Okay, we are using this one. Sending data. So this is the code. We could find it from the first place. Basically, it sent data to an external page named as getinfo.php external. So we can use this idea here because there's no check and balance here. Source code analysis of the page shows that it's sending URL parameters and without performing any validation, it sends the information to the server mentioned in URL parameter. So basically, the question is we can send, for example, you can do it send it to localhost index.php. For example, a quick test, you can open your Python, the classic Python minus m http.server, and it's 8000. You say okay, I want to make test if this one work, and say 10.10. My attack bus is 236.173 and I have 8000. So if I call this, let's see if we get a reply. We got, it said code 501 internal server error message and supported method post. Remember when you do Python like that, it's a get request only, so we can't have a post request. So we need another server that can receive a post request, and that's why TryHackMe gave us this these little things. This one now you can have this script will give you the post request that we don't have, vim server dot not php dot py. So this one okay, this one will give you the post because that's why we're trying to have the post, and you run in 8080. So 8080, so chmod plus x server, and we can just go python 3 server, and it's running now in 8080. So we can say now we can change our 80 we did before to 8080 and see what happened. No, isn't, but also the script has something about it good. log the post data to data.html. When open data, open wherever they come, it save it in post data.html. So we can go to our file and where is the data? You go to, it's not in desktop, in the home directory, root data.html, and it's an example of out of band, um, and then we got these things. So then there's another one called semi-blind SSRF, time-based. Time-based SSRF is a variation of SSRF where the attacker leverages timing-related clues or delay to infer the success or failure of the malicious request by observing how long it takes for the application to respond. The attacker can make educated guesses about whether their SSRF attack was successful. The attacker sends a series of requests, each targeting a different source or URL. The attacker can measure the response times for each request. If a response takes significantly longer, it may indicate the attack server successfully accessed the target resources, implying successful SSRF attack. Now, what does out of band SSRF always include a technique in which an attacker always receive? No, not always. You get a response. That's why we have out of band. What is the value of virtual directory support on the PHP server per log data? Virtual directory support. It's a straight on the top. Disabled. Disabled. What is the value of PHP extension build on the server? Build. Contref extension. API extension model. PHP extension. Does it mean this? The PHP extension build. So how many? Oh, that one. So it must be this one. Which type of SSF doesn't give us direct response or feedback? That's what we've been doing. That's just a bonus question. So now we have that. Now another one is a classic example of crashing the server. An attacker could abuse SSR by crashing the server or creating a denial of service for other hosts. There are multiple instances. Let's see this one. What is Cairo? Where attacker tried to disrupt availability of this by launching SSRF attack. Let's see what this one. WordPress core unauthenticated blind SSRF. When it was this one? Technical data, a blog. What is the date of this? 2022. Yeah, it's an old one. And then the next one is SSRF and DOS vulnerability, SSRF vulnerability summary. When Cairo SVG process an SVG file. Oh, that's why SVG are dangerous. Uh, Crashing the server. In this SSRF demonstration, we will state how an attacker can exploit a web application to cause a denial service on the server. In our scenario, the vulnerability is exploited by supplying a malicious URL that points to a resource which, when accessed by a server, lead to excessive resource consumption. For example, the attacker might input a URL pointing to a large file. I think this example is targeting, this one, close this one. Is targeting the profile page. Let's close this one. Is the profile, no, not the profile, the training page. Stay tuned for updated training content, and you can see here it called 192.168.2.10 training banner.php. So let's follow TryHackMe with this story here. Training banner. We notice that the url.php file is loading external content displayed here. What if we try to load any other content? So here we try 10 10 10 10. It's like yeah, it's not guessing, that's part of pen testing. So You try different things until you find something that give you result. And here, if you can see this, you are connected to TryHackMe, flag connection verified, your VPN, and then we have all this. Sometimes if you view the page source, they will look clearer. Oh, this is CSS. Oh, what happened here? Connect.php, the flag. Okay, so nothing special here. Now that we know the server is vulnerable to basic SSRF, let's explore the code of url.php. So we're going back to the first one, url equal localhost url. We'll see the following code. Yeah, we did this before. URL localhost URL. Do we still have that? It's in the front page. Oh wait, to see that we need to log out. url.php. Not .php URL, because it adds the PHP itself. That's the. Where is that part of the image? Get file content. New URL provided. Where is this image things? Oh, there is an echo flag. Yeah, we could get the flag here. That's the flag. We don't need to go TryHackMe do the room. Yeah, we already found the flag. Thank you very much. Let's steal it. It's not cheating, guys. I can't copy. Yeah, TryHackMe. This is the flag. So memory outage, server will crash and then show you the flag. Okay, thank you. If image size less than 100, out of the image. If it's within the size limit, base 64 inspect. Okay, so if it will be greater than 100, it will be that show me the crash, and that's why they hide this part of the code, so you can get the flag through. So the above code show that url.php load an image if the image size exceeds 100 KB. It showed memory outage, so you can just go to that link. I think we need a password for this. Let's see if it asks for the password. Oh, it doesn't. See, it's the same things. Where is it? Yeah, this one. 3D at the end. 3D at the end. No, the remediation is simple. Mitigation measures for SSRF are essential for preserving the security and integrity of web application. Implementing robust SSRF and mitigation measures help protect against this risk by fortifying the application defense, preventing malicious requests, and bolstering the overall security posture as a critical element of web application security. SSRF mitigation measures are instrument in preserving user data, safeguarding against data breach. So the key part is implementing strict input validation. This is key part, and sanitize all user provide input, especially any URL or input parameter the application use. Instead, usually don't do block list, because the issue of block list is because uh, you might forget something. You don't know which one you forget when you one arrive. So that's why a reverse is more clever. Just make allow. So I just allow this. Allow for trusted URL and domain. Only allow requests to these trusted sources. Implement network segmentation. Yeah, that one. Implement security header, such as content security policy that restrict the application load of external resource. Basically, this will kill SSRF. Implement strong access control for internal source, so even if an attacker succeeds in making requests, they can't access sensitive data without proper authorization. Implement comprehensive login and monitoring to track, analyze, EDR logs, things like that. Now, which of the following is the suggested approach for while handling trusted URL? Filter out the block or maintain a low trust list, which is mean we're looking for the B. Since our server mainly exploits server-side requests, is it option to sanitize the input? No, you always need to sanitize the URLs. And as conclusion, Task 8. In this room, we cover the detail of SSRF while shedding light on basic blind and time-based technique. The room aimed at providing you with a comprehensive understanding of this vulnerability within web applications through hand-on exercise and daily life scenario. Moreover, we have also discussed some remedial measures to protect against vulnerability. So yeah, guys, this is the room. The lab is there. If you have question, please let me know in the comment. Please like and share, help the channel grow. Is there an advanced SRF here or they just this one it looking easy. That's we did now as no this this is CCRF. Did we did this is advanced SQL and I don't see advanced SSRF. In any case, thank you everybody and have a good day.